So, how do you feel comfortable by walking up to the front of your workplace or in school and to open your mouth to speak? Fear of speaking in public is one of the largest fears that human beings carry with them. Because think about it. When you must speak in front of people, the information that you're there to deliver is often the smallest thought that you have. Maybe you have the thought of thank you for liking the live, of not being prepared. However, to speak in public also means, are people looking at me? Are they judging my appearance? Are they judging how I speak? Am I saying everything correctly? Do they see that I'm uncomfortable? Are they making fun of me? Do I even know what I'm doing? Is this working? I want to get off of this stage. Anyone who's had these thoughts when speaking in public, put the caution sign into the chat, because truly speaking in front of people is a real fear, and understandably so. However, it is a skill, and all skills are learned, which means that we can learn how to speak in public better. We can learn how to present without constantly thinking of our appearance, our knowledge, our lack of knowledge, our feeling of being judged, and every other thing that occurs when presenting or speaking in front of people. So, to speak in public is really a superpower, because we do this all the time. It's not just if you have to present a report. Speaking in public is every time you leave your home. If you have to engage with someone at a store or in the workplace, speaking in public often just means the confidence of communication. And that's a skill. Now, I have been around talkers my entire life. So the skill of speaking and then being a flight attendant and always having to speak on a stage, the airplane, with different cultures, languages, societal structures, enabled me to quickly learn how much we miscommunicate. And really, a lot of public speaking is just your confidence. If you feel confident with the information you're presenting, then there's no second guessing. If you feel confident within yourself, your presence, your appearance, you don't really think too much about it. However, if you don't, that's all you will think when you're speaking. That's it. How unattractive I feel. They're looking at my body. Maybe this outfit doesn't work. All of those things is null and void. Here is how you just show up and speak. First, know that you're going to do a good job. Meaning that odd thought of I'm not going to do well, just immediately contradict that and say, I have done well. It may not feel comfortable, but both are the same. You're just predicting something that hasn't happened. So instead of saying, I'm not doing well, I don't know how to do this, no, I'm going to do great. I'm uncomfortable and I'm still going to do great. I have everything I need to be great. Yes, it sounds like that pump up, that element when you're in elementary school and you tell yourself how good you're going to be, because there's a reason for that. If you can tell yourself, I can't speak in public, you can also say, I can. That's the first step. Just changing that inner dialogue of, I don't feel comfortable. I'm not good at this, to I'm learning how to do this. I am getting better every time I do. And taking a deep breath. Because again, those thoughts of I'm not doing well. What's up, Alfred? What's up? And thank you, Isla. Yes, we don't need to create these schemes of negativity before they aren't there. So within a work setting, what's up, Blessed Zone? How you doing? Within a work setting, there's two things that are going on when you present, when you're speaking. Thank you. I will always be that. I appreciate that. Within a work setting, there's two things. There's that professional dialogue of, do I know the information? I should have studied the information more. There's a lot of information. How am I going to do this? And then there's the what you think about yourself. And both of those things are always running. However, within the presence of a job or school, when you have to present, understand that those two voices or tracks are always running. The first track of, I don't know this information, I don't know if I can present this information, can easily be turned down if you just understand the information that you are presenting. Meaning, if you are presenting about how to drink water, truly feel confident with that information. Feel confident. Read over what you need to know. Know your bullet point. You don't actually, here's the thing, and I'm a BSer, so I know about this. You don't need to know all of the information, but understand your main points that needs to be delivered. If the main points are, when you receive a bottle of water, you need to initially take off the top, tilt the bottle of water, and drink the water. If those are your 3 points, that's really all you need to know. Because from those 3 points, they all connect, and you can connect those 3 points while you're speaking. To say the velocity of the water that flows out of the bottle, people tune out. People tune out. And with speaking in public, that is the worst. Imagine that teacher that you would just zone out because they were so boring. Or that presentation that you went to that you kept looking at your phone or your watch because they were boring. A part of mastering speaking in public is just to be engaging. And what does that mean? That means don't be a robot. Thank you, Alfred. You don't have to be a robot. You can breathe normally. You can talk how you talk. You can take pauses. You can casually look to the side. Instead of thinking, I have to deliver this information and I'm not going to take any breaths, it starts with relaxing. Relax. Be yourself. If you were chosen to speak on a topic, there's a reason why. And I enjoy taking that challenge of saying, someone selected me, I'm showing up. This is my first time, and I'm going to do great. Because the art of communication is really an art. But how often do we go into that robotic mode of, I just am going to say this as fast as possible without breathing so I can get it out? We can hear it. Your public can hear it. And my father, who was a business owner, he is a eloquent speaker. He would always tell me, slow down. When you're speaking, slow down. Even if you believe your tone is slow enough, slow down even more. Because your audience is picking up on that. So when you slow down, your audience is calming down. When you have someone in front of you who's speaking so fast and they never take a breath because they just want the information to come out, you want to leave as the listener. This person doesn't want to be here, neither do I. Slowing down, thinking about what you want to say will change your delivery in every way. And thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Isla. Thank you. Because, listen, I challenge all 157 people in this live for the rest of the week to listen when an individual is speaking to you and truly listen. Well, what's hard about it, Michelle Smith? Nothing's hard. That's not hard for me. So how is this hard for you? Clarify it, and I'm here to help. Because nothing's hard. At times, we just need it to be broken down so we can ingest it and then act it out. That's it. Everyone takes information differently. So with speaking, paying attention is a big part of speaking. However, what does that mean? Let's break that down. Paying attention means I'm not thinking about dinner or when this is going to be over or if I need to send an email. I'm actually just listening. I'm listening. I don't know Robert Draper. I don't listen. I've been to over 60 countries. Everyone's different. I will not make a generalization of how people listen. That's an interpretation. So I don't know. However, when people listen to me, they listen. Again, oftentimes when we share an experience, it's only from our perspective. And I take great honor in ensuring when I speak, I'm understood. And that is a system. That is how slowly I am speaking. How exactly, reminding yourself to listen. Breathing. Check in with yourself. Am I holding my breath? A lot of times we're holding our breath. Or we're talking so fast we haven't taken a breath. However, until you ask yourself this, how are you to know? So, I'm making the assumption that individuals are listening to me. There is never a room that I know. In fact, it's a beautiful thing for you to repeat yourself. Actually, Big Bill 2244, exactly. Holding your breath. Well, breath work is huge. I'll speak about that. Breath work is huge. However, repeating yourself is fantastic. Not everything is received the first time. So again, if I'm explaining about how to open a bottle of water, I would say, grab the bottle of water from the base, then twist the top off of the top of the water bottle. After you have completed that, tilt the bottle of water to your mouth and drink the water. What did you hear from what I just explained? And asking, what did you hear? Because just because I said it doesn't mean that that's what you received. And I see myself as a master communicator. I pride myself with my communication. I excel at communication. However, I'm not going to assume you heard that. So, yes, what did you hear? What's up, Counselor Cat Mom? Good to see you. What did you hear? Oh, okay, so that's what you heard? Here was my intention. My intention was for you to understand how to take the top of the cap off of the water bottle and drink it. That was my intention. So let me explain it a different way. There's several different ways of having this be completed. However, actually asking, did you understand what I said, gets you to that point faster. And now, Jackie, you will. It's not that you have to practice being a present listener. The fact that you're aware that the intention of listening is important, you have already started to do it. There was a moment where you weren't even aware that intentionally listening was something you needed to do. So it goes in, there's layers to it. And also give yourself grace. What's up, Mac? Give yourself grace. Again, you're aware of it. Exactly. Awareness means it's already happening. We often, even with speaking, we just want the person to know the information. Well, let's be aware that we don't even know where they are with the information. So let's break it down as small as we can so someone can understand. Making the assumption that everyone has your level of intelligence is the first step of miscommunication. I don't know. Maybe English or the language that I'm speaking in is not your first language. I have learned a second language. I speak another language. So how I speak in English is completely different if I was speaking in French. However, my confidence in speaking in English is a lot higher than my confidence in speaking in French or Spanish. Yeah, you don't. But again, Rosalind, that's also releasing that thought track of being prepared for the question. Just allow it to come. That comes with awareness and being an honest presenter and truly just listening. Honoring the voice. Sure. What does that mean, Rosalind? Clarify. That would be helpful. So, when we are presenting or speaking, let's say it's just in a conversation, taking breaths, listening and just breathing, consciously breathing, not thinking, what am I going to say? Let the thought come out. Let me breathe and listen. Am I tense? Oh, I'm kind of tense. Okay, let me breathe. Sometimes when I'm in conversation with a person, I will say, let me settle. Okay, hold on. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm present. I'm here. Because it takes that moment to tune everything else out. If I'm speaking to you as a presenter, now I'm a speaker. I'm a professional speaker. I see communication as my job. Within my personal relationships, when I'm speaking to motivate, when I'm speaking, thank you. Yes, I appreciate you, Isla. Thank you. The art of speaking can bring everything you want out of life, or it can mask what you don't want. Because the assumption, and I will use my niece who's quite young, I often use it. It's not about age. However, she had explained to me that there was a miscommunication. And so because the person did not respond in the way she felt was necessary, she decided to no longer communicate. And I said, When we look outside, when we take the other person's response as the answer, there is something you're missing. What's up, Mag? What's up? Is it evening? It's not evening yet. It's only 3:38 where I am. So that's still afternoon. However, since Mag is here, the private security is in the building. So if anyone enters without any thoughts of positivity, upliftment, excitement, learning, gregariousness, you will be escorted out. Yeah, be aware of your expectations, but more so, forget an expectation. Your expectation will always be wrong. Your expectation will always be wrong because it's simply coming from your brain to that moment, from the time you've been born to that moment, and everything that has happened has built these systems. And you see someone in a silk shirt and you'll say, you know, everyone who wears silk shirts is dumb. Okay, well, that's incorrect. I mean, first of all, a generalization of everyone in the world, you haven't even been everywhere. How do you know that? Let's take a step back. Let's say everyone that I have met in my life who wears silk shirts are dumb. Oh, okay. That I can understand because that's from your experience. And it's still not true for me. It is a BS assumption. However, it's something I made up. And to be aware that we always have expectations. We do. And to well, you know, I've heard all sorts of ridiculous things. I am an exceptional chef. I love to cook. I love to forage fruits and vegetables and herbs and make my own tea blends and make bread and make garlic confit and make my own butter. All of these things I hand make. However, there was someone who told me because I was born in the state of California, there's no way that I know how to cook because no one outside of the southern states of the U.S. knows how to cook and season foods. And I thought, well, that's a precarious thought. It doesn't mean anything to me. Yes. Oh, yeah, my avocado girl. And, you know, I have a coconut man. You got to have a cute coconut man. Thank you, Eileen. Is it Eileen? I saw your name and I read it like Eileen Fisher. I used to love her pieces. So, that is not true. However, that was the assumption or the story that is being held by said individual. What's up, Dan? Yes, I love a cute coconut man to come and deliver fresh coconuts that he's climbed up the tree to rescue for me. However, I digress. Back to mastering how to speak in public. Continue to like the live. Last night, our live got up to 20,000. Let's see how high we can get it today. So, yes, people will have expectations. So what? Even if they tell them to you, so what? It doesn't matter what they expect or they think. Exactly, Isla. What do you think of yourself? And this all comes back to confidence, especially with speaking in public. How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? Because if you don't feel confidence within yourself, it typically will come out as you speak. And I asked my father, because my father really taught us how to speak. When I would work in his office, I would have to do cold calls, and I was like the secretary and answering calls. What's up? Yes, a cute coconut man. Or any nice gentleman that likes to present some fresh fruits or vegetables directly to my door. I'm always welcoming of that, Kara. I mean, it's such a treat. So, I would ask my father, how did you teach us to speak with confidence? He said, well, it comes down to the belief in yourself. Whatever you... I always will. And even if I don't, I'll survive. If you believe in what you're talking about, it shows. When I'm speaking, like as you saw me drifting off into space about my coconut man, because it's something I believe in. It's something that's true to me. I'm not making this up. But if I were to talk about, let's say, a person that made me tequila and delivered it to me, it may not connect the same because I just made that up. You have to actually believe in what you're saying. If this is in a work setting, there's a trick to that as well. Because if you're presenting in a work setting, you may have to trick yourself into the challenge of presenting, because if you do not like the information, that will show. That will show. How often have you had to present to colleagues some information that you're not interested in? Yes, just a little. Have some experience and knowledge of the topic. And if you do not like what you have to present, like that you are the one to present it. Like that, hey, I think this is boring, but I bet I can get everyone engaged. I bet I can keep everyone's attention. I think this is the challenge for me to be able to creatively deliver this information where my team likes it and they're engaged and they want to help out. And they come and say, Hope, you know what? I wasn't looking forward to this. However, how you explained it, like I got it. There's a way of doing everything. However, it helps, especially with speaking. And let me take it a step back, with confidence, to like some part of it. If you don't like it at all, you got to start there. You got to figure out something that you like about it. Either the challenge of speaking, either the challenge of standing up in front of others, or actually enjoying teaching. Because when you are presenting, you're teaching. You're teaching some sort of information. You may just be teaching people about you. However, to challenge yourself to see it in that way creates another avenue where it's not just, I got to get through this and say this. No. How about, yeah, I'm glad I'm the one selected to do this. I'm going to do this differently. I feel good about this. I'm going to practice. I'm going to slow down when I speak. I'm going to put a few smiles as I deliver this information. And I'm going to allow everyone to ask questions so that they know that I care. Good evening, T. Wheeler. You see how that changes it? And there are many steps to becoming a confident speaker. However, it always starts with us. It always is going to start with you. If you just feel good about yourself, or you feel competent, or you feel like the day is good, or you feel something uplifting about yourself, that's going to show when you present. If you don't, you may slump your shoulders and you kind of don't want to be seen. You may hide behind the microphone, and that can be seen. Either way you present, it's being seen. And I would tell myself, I love that I'm in this position to teach this. Yes, I feel good about myself. This is a great challenge. And that changes the mindset. Before you even go in to speak, start with your mindset. Start with 10 minutes of just quiet time. Maybe going over what you have to say, but also telling yourself that you're going to do great. This is new. Maybe it's not new. Maybe this is the 50th time, and this is the best time yet. You know what? I feel good about this. I feel great about this. I'm worthy of this. You know, when I present, people like to hear me. And know that that's true. There's one way to do exactly, because here's the thing. With public speaking, we're always speaking in public. But public speaking, you can just say that how you speak to yourself. How do you show up with yourself? How do you talk to yourself? How do you show up every day? And challenge yourself. Say, you know what? I'm showing up today. I'm going to look myself in the mirror and say, I'm doing great today. Hope you're doing great today. You put on that beautiful silk shirt. I feel great about myself. I drank my water. I did my workout. Life, I feel good about life. I feel good about me. I feel good about myself. I feel good about this project. I feel good about my voice. I feel great about how I look today. I'm doing a great job. Look where I got to in this moment through everything in life. Look at where I am. And I'm encouraged because I am an avid book reader. And when I went to the library 2 weeks ago, I picked up a book of quotes. I love quotes. I am a speaker. However, I believe to teach is often to teach in a riddle or a story. So when I'm speaking to my nieces or nephews or friends or family, I love... Well, then they shouldn't be a presenter. There, let me tap you on the shoulder. Sometimes, you know who is excelling at their craft, especially a speaker or a presenter. Then some of you need to stop presenting. Sometimes you need to ask for that feedback. How was I? When I present, do you stay engaged? No, it's boring. You are like the worst. In fact, when I know you are coming to deliver the information, I try to get out of it. Now, that may not feel great, but that can send a signal to, yeah, maybe I want to change that. And there's the constructive way of giving criticism. Your information isn't always engaging. Maybe adding quotes or asking questions or making eye contact with your audience would be more engaging. Is that helpful for you? That's another way of feedback that anyone would take and say, hey, that's constructive. That is helpful. Oh, yes. Well, Les Brown, of course. Les Brown is it. I love Les Brown. I listen to Les Brown. There was a time in life for several years, I would listen to Les Brown first thing in the morning for an hour. And my father speaks like Les Brown. However, Les Brown is Les Brown. He's Les Brown. He's Les Brown. And starting the day with Les Brown will put you into a different mindset. It's something that I set an intention to do every day. If you're around me, if you feel my energy, if you hear me talk, you will leave with something. Probably a little vigor in your step, because as Ayla said, there's presenters or speakers where you just want to go to sleep. Like, I don't want to listen to you. You're terrible. Terrible. Absolutely boring. I choose not to have that be me. Just go on YouTube and look up Les Brown, and I recommend Les Brown Shoot for the Stars. It's like a 8-piece series. That is fantastic. Yes, he's on YouTube. Shoot for the Stars is great. It's not over until you win. And you can go to YouTube and look up Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome, which is astounding for a speaker. Yes, being a storyteller is a part of being a great speaker because you're still being that alchemist with your words. Being a storyteller is a skill. Yes, become then there you go. If you want to host, master storytelling, because here's the thing. When we are telling a story, we already see it. We've lived it. We can see the people. We can feel the air. We can hear the music in the background. We can hear the traffic in the background. We know the outfits of what everyone was wearing. We know the time sequence. The person you're speaking to does not. They don't. So, to be an eloquent storyteller, thank you, Kara. Well, thank you, algorithm, and thank you, Kara. It looks like the algorithm is doing its thing today. To be a captivating storyteller is to understand that that person wasn't there. What's up, Micah? Hey, I was grooving to you earlier today. Micah Da Vinci is an incredible creator here on the app, musician, creates right on the spot. Check him out. He is fantastic. He had my elbows doing this when we were at the TikTok building. It was insane. It was crazy. It was great. You are an eloquent musician, and thank you for sharing your gift, because to share your gift takes courage. And I spoke about this yesterday on my live. The act of taking courage, especially in sharing your gift, is the blessing that maybe you were put here to be. When I speak, this is a gift. The energy is a gift, but this is really me. And there was times where I would silence myself because I do stand out when I speak, and I stand out anyway. However, it takes courage to say, yeah, you know what? That's for me. And if you see my light and if you see my gift and it reminds you that you're not using your gift, so you ask me to dim my light, I refuse to do that. Not anymore. I'm showing up. Thank you, Micah. Thank you. That's all it is. If you sense that others want your light dimmed, it's just because they see the beauty in your gift. And it's a reminder of the gift that they have not said yes to. That's all it is. And I have compassion for that. It's not neither good or bad. It's a part of it. It's a part of it. We all have something. I believe we all have multiple things. However, to give ourselves the courage to go and say, I'm ready to show this, that does take courage. And when you do it, the world opens up. The world opens up. And with speaking, it's a lot of listening. It's a lot of listening. I often now do more listening than speaking. When I'm not speaking, like on live or speaking at an event, I don't talk much. And I'm a nature girl. Anyone who's new to my live, all 79 people in this live, I was a flight attendant for 15 years. And being from the Central Valley of California, I have two incredible parents that I call my board of trustees, because when you have a board of trustees, first of all, you got to trust them. They have to have some information that is beneficial for you. And trustees with any company are really who runs the company. They make financial decisions. They make decisions to let people go or bring people on. And so they are actually kind of the people running the show. So I referred to my parents as the board of trustees. And my father loved the outdoors. My dad was born in 1947. He's a Vietnam vet, and he is an incredible human being that taught me love and respect and dignity and individuality and true support and freedom to become whatever I choose to be. And my father loved the outdoors. He's from LA, born and raised, and he said, I was trying to get out of there as soon as possible. And so when he met my mother in Modesto, I believe it was Modesto, which is kind of northern central California, it was that unique love story of my father was, thank you, I'll let him know. My father was kind of the bad boy. He was a pilot in Vietnam and then a flight instructor after he came back, and then went to, I think it was like the GM University, and I believe he was the first black man to have a dealership. He opened a Pontiac dealership in Modesto and was that guy, and then got saved. What's up? What's up? I love, as you should. I was never bad. I don't do bad or good. That's a morality thing, Nate. However, I've lived. That's what I say. It's Billie Holiday. Although I love Dorothy Dandridge. Dorothy Dandridge is one of my beauty icons because her beauty is effortless and classic and sexy and elegant and feminine. So this is Billie Holiday. However, you may be seeing Dorothy Dandridge now. Yeah, I'm nuts. Really, Nate, that's cute. That's funny. But so my father, the story goes, he had a Harley. Thank you, Counselor Cat Mom. Well, it's always changing, and I'll take that. I will take that. He had a Harley. Apparently, he had rollers in his hair. I guess he looked like Rick James or something. And he went to this church, and there was my mom, and he knew that is the woman for me. That is her. She is it. And he went up to her beautiful self and said, "The Lord told me that you are my wife." And she said, "Brother, I don't know you." And he did not tell me that. And walked away. And so then apparently, see, my dad says, I'm still trying to figure this out. There was like a year of this, of her saying like, get out of here. And then when she finally said yes, they met, dated, married in 3 months, and a year and a half later, my first sister was born. Ah, eh? Ah, okay. Un motorbike? Ouais? C'est vrai, motorbike? Qu'est-ce que c'est motorcycle en français? So, my father loves the outdoors. And he has 5 courageous, beautiful daughters. And so we would go to the outdoors often. I lived near Yosemite. So we would always go to Yosemite and have a picnic in the meadow, or go fishing, or go to this lake called the Avocado Lake. And then as we got older, we would travel to the different national parks. So I've been to several national parks throughout California and the nation. Old Faithful and the Grand Tetons, Yellowstone, the Grand Canyon, you name it, I've probably been there. So I love the outdoors. I love to hike. I just like being outside. And because yes, Avocado Lake, it's not that spectacular. However, it's called Avocado Lake. Yes. And because I had lived in cities for 15 years, big cities, DC, London, New York, Paris, Jersey-ish, I craved the outdoors. So when I moved to Hawaii, it was like, I found my home because within 10 minutes, I could be on my favorite hiking trail. I could hike to a waterfall. I could go and pick my fruit and my leaves and make tea and just be outside without ambulances and people and sirens and just the hustle and bustle for a city, what a city brings. And so if I'm not speaking, I like to just listen. Listen to the birds. Be aware of what's going on around me. And as a speaker, as a performer, as anyone, know your audience. Be aware of what's going around. Be aware of who's in the room. Be aware of your audience. This is specifically with speaking. Knowing your audience is pivotal before you begin to give your information. Do these individuals already have this information? And are you just reconditioning them? I have not lived in Boston or the Cape or New Hampshire. However, I have been to Boston and New Hampshire. I have. So no, but would I live there? No, never, ever. I'm never living in a winter. I will never live in a place with a winter in the Northeast. I have. I never will do that. For me, it will only be tropical climates. And however, but what does that mean? Because diversity can mean different things. There's age diversity. There could be language diversity, meaning is your audience native speakers, or are these people, whoever is listening, are they language speakers of other languages? Then there is every other diversity. Yes, diversity in itself is diverse. So I always make that assumption. In fact, I just don't know until I ask. Before I speak, I like to talk to people. Let me find out who's in the room. Why are they here? Do they want to be here? Are they excited to be here? Do they want to hear something uplifting, or were they brought by a friend of theirs? That enables me as a speaker to tailor. And my father said one of the fallacies that is taught is that you should treat everyone the same. And he said, you don't. You treat everyone differently, as you should. If I'm speaking, I was a Sunday school teacher. When I was a Sunday school teacher at 15, the way I would speak to the children in Sunday school isn't how I would speak to someone if I'm teaching them information and they're all adults. The way, if I'm teaching French to native French speakers, it's going to be completely different than if I'm teaching French to native English speakers. If I'm teaching to a crowd that is 60 and up, the words that I choose to use are going to be different than if I'm talking to a crowd that's under 30. Nate. So, knowing this all enables more confidence within speaking. Yeah, no need to apologize. No need to. You wanted to get that out, Nate, and you did. You did. You got a smile, okay? You got it out, okay? I appreciate it. So, How do you approach every individual? Let's take this out of a crowd setting. Let's take this to a one-on-one setting. Listen. Listen more. I'm a talker. I love to talk. Now I just listen more. I ask more questions. I sit back and truly listen. There's so much that can be learned from listening. And then there's the mystery, because now I got you talking. I'm learning everything. I'm just engaging. I'm not really divulging. So that's a whole nother thing. However, keeping that mystery may be something beneficial in some way. Asking questions that you actually want to know. Not, listen, I've spoken about this often. These menial, dumb questions, how are you? That's dumb. No. I like this question. Now, if I'm at the grocery store, what was your favorite moment of the day so far? The person will look at me like, what? What's up, Miss Tammy? Thank you. I don't have one. Well, I'm just going to wait here. What's up, Is it Raphael? Raphael, let me know. What hot drink did you make this morning? Instead of, how are you? What hot drink did you make this morning? I don't drink coffee. So this is why I asked this. Okay, thank you. I drink tea. What hot drink do you drink in the morning? I drink coffee. Okay. How do you take your coffee? Cream and sugar? Okay. Cream and sugar. Do you have a certain roast that you like? Just knowing that, people are interested in that. That's actually engaging. That's fun. Not, hey, how you feeling today? Listen, my knee hurts. My ear, I can't hear out of it. My tooth hurts. I don't know if I could get into the... We ain't going there. We aren't going there, okay? I don't ask people that, okay? I don't ask people those types of questions because somebody may tell you the truth. How you doing? I'm doing terrible. My wife's about to leave me. My car is about to, the alternator went out. I ain't got the money to fix it. Okay, well, I understand that. What's the solution that you have for that? I can always rework it. However, there's questions. What's up, Betty Boop? There's questions that won't solicit those answers. What hot drink did you have today? What has been your favorite moment in this day? Hey, how could this day become better? What meal would you love to have today if you could have any meal? Just out of the... these are different things that you could ask. I don't know. What's your favorite toothpaste? Something other than how are you? How is your day going? Because that starts that mechanical repetition of like whatever sounds good. No, I will stand there and say, I'm waiting for you to answer. I'm not going to leave until you answer. I'm that annoying. I am. But it works. Okay, because it does come from a genuine space. Now, if it's not genuine, I suggest not doing it. Because there you go, Crest. I like Crest Pro Health. Is it? Yeah, Crest Pro Health. And my Sonicare toothbrush and flossing twice a day and a tongue scraper. Yes. Plus, I had braces for 2 or 3 years. And so with baking soda, okay, now we have to quickly talk about teeth. Yes. Before I would do Burt's Bees and coconut oil. Yes. Okay. Do you oil pull? Because I was doing that. I'm going to get back into that. Thank you. I had braces, and because I had braces for like 3 years, my dad would say, you can't eat candy. You can't do this. There's the equivalent of a car that's inside your mouth. Like, so, Dad, I'm going to eat the candy. I'm going to eat it. And thank you for the braces, but it's not like I didn't request the braces. Thank you, Darren Hawkins. I appreciate that. Listen, A smile, beautiful teeth you can't fake. And I'm coming out to tell you this, regardless of the backlash. Well, I lived in England for several years, so I know about that. I'm not for a veneer. I love a natural tooth. I love a beautiful smile. To have a beautiful smile and to take care of it is one of the sexiest things. It is, and you can't fake it. I mean, veneers, you have to do what makes you feel beautiful. And there's something with a natural, beautiful smile that has its own character, that is unique to that person. And if you invest in veneers, invest. You will have to continuously invest. It's like breast implants. You have to get them possibly redone every 10 to 20 years. Well, listen, my father taught me a lot about money, honey. Okay, my father was also in finance, so it's a worthy investment. It's not always about the cost; it's the investment, and even seeing that in that way. Exactly. Whenever you speak to someone, especially if you're looking for a partner, they're gonna look at your teeth. All right, Betty Boop. See you next time. Boop boop be doop. They're going to look at your teeth. And that's the first thing I do. I smile like, hey. Also, smiling in the human brain, since we were infants, we automatically mimic that. We mimic that. So if I see you and I smile, your brain is going to mirror me and smile back, and their eyes will get bright. What did I do to my teeth? What did they do to my teeth? Not much. My teeth didn't have... It wasn't much, although I had like the canines pulled. They pulled 4 teeth to bring all of my teeth back. But this was well over 20 years ago. And thank you. And I am meticulous about my twice yearly dentist's appointments. And I love all of my dentists. I actually love them. In fact, my dentist in New York, who was one of my favorite dentists, Tribeca Dental Design, Google it. It's a fantastic dental group right by Chambers Station in Lower Manhattan. He would walk me out and give me a hug. And I was like, wow, this is okay. I like this. My dentist is like walking me out of the dental chair into the reception, saying, okay, it's good to see you, giving me a hug, and then walking me to the door. That's some service, okay? Now, I don't know if he did all of that. Yes, Mag. Can we? Ding. I don't know if he gave this treatment to every... Thank you, Isla. Thank you for coming in. I'll see you next time. And I post all of my lives on my YouTube, Hope is Speaking. So you're welcome and have a fantastic night. So I don't know if my dentist walked everyone out. However, I have a close and personal relationship with my dentists. And he did, man. He did. I take an interest in anyone who's within my realm in that space. All of my medical professionals, whether it be a doctor, my esthetician, my acupuncturist, because I am big into, I believe in taking care of everything. Yes, I go to my dentist and I oil pull. I get acupuncture and then I have a regular doctor. It's all of that. However, that dentist was fantastic. And having that connection, most people, there's a barrier put up. So there's only so much they will talk to their dentist about. Not for me. Not for me, it wasn't. And also, I lived in Europe for several years, so a hug is nothing. I'm used to kissing people on each cheek. However, for you, maybe, but it's me. Okay? It's me. What's up, Rover862? Good to see you. People like hope. That's just what it is. So, starting everything with a smile, engaging, looking in someone's eye, and truly being present is always felt when speaking. Meaning, if someone is just thinking from their script, you can tell. You can tell, like when a telemarketer calls you and says, hi, Darren Hawkins, I'm calling today to ask you about your car insurance. Do you have some time for that? It sounds like a script. But Darren, if I said, hi, Darren, how are you today? Do you have a moment to speak to me? I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm sure you receive a lot of these calls. However, set a timer for 90 seconds, and then you can hang up. You're more likely to listen to that second approach. I know, they all listen, Darren, be careful. It is true. People fall in love with me. What's there not to love? However, what's up, Ruben? Nice to see you. Your approach, always thinking, what is the goal? What is the goal? Is my goal, and I'm going to use the telemarketer example. If my goal as a telemarketer is to just rush out the information I need to say, okay, all right, we'll see. I'm always ready for a grand gesture. However, if it's not a grand gesture, it won't stand out and I'll walk away. If my goal as a telemarketer is just to rush through my script, then that's the only thing I will concentrate on. If my goal is to actually keep the person on the phone, then that is the goal, and I will change my script to encourage that goal. If my goal is to actually have the person on the other line buy something, then that is what I'm working to, and I will show up on the phone differently. My words may be different. I may add a little bit more time in between the words so it doesn't feel rushed, because I don't want to take up your time. You see how that changes it? How did I let go of fear? I don't know if I had. I'm bonkers. I don't know if I let go of fear. I see fear. I walk towards it. I don't allow fear to prevent me from motion. So I still feel fear. I know fear is there for a reason. Oftentimes it's something that's there to protect me, because your brain is always trying to protect you. So if you go and speak in front of people, you may feel nervous and feel fear. Yeah, I will. Okay, so what? Sure, fear is normal. Fear is a part of life. The point of fear isn't to see it, feel it, and then go the opposite way. The point of fear, what's up, Raleigh Durham? I'm not doing anything to death. So take the death part out of it. You can say, so we should create life, but to death, I bring things to life. That's what I do. I bring things to life. I don't even want when people say, oh, you killed it. No, I brought it to life. I don't do no type of death. So, yes, the purpose of fear is not to turn away. That's okay. And thank you, Darren. The purpose of fear is to feel it and continue. The purpose of fear is really telling you you're actually progressing. If you don't feel fear, you're not doing anything new or unfamiliar enough for your body to say, whoa, what are we doing? And Counselor Cat Mom, I'll have to go, once this is uploaded onto YouTube, because I upload all of my lives onto YouTube, which is Hope is Speaking, we'll have to time mark it, because I'll say these things and then not remember, and I'll actually go back and write it down. Now, as I said, I'm bonkers. Okay. I often, if people ask me for advice, I have to get clarity on what you want, because I do fearful things purposely to continuously feel that discomfort. So when I went skydiving, it was purposeful. Like, I want to feel that adrenaline rush, but I was a flight attendant. I was always on the plane. I'm used to being on the plane. I've been in the air more than I've been on the ground, but I've never jumped out of a plane. So yeah, I want to go jump out of a plane. Okay, got through that. If I feel, with my TED Talk, thank you. I'm experiencing now that with this oncoming TED Talk and writing this speech, because for me, this is my largest stage that I always knew would happen. And then it's there. So what are you going to do now that it's here? Are you going to allow the fear, the discomfort to disengage you so you don't show up in the fullest way? No, of course that fear that's great. I feel that fear. That means great things are here. I'm going. I don't care about fear. It's a part of life. It's there. However, to utilize it in a positive way is to say, of course, fear is there. However, fear isn't there to prevent. It's just there as a marker of, yeah, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. And what you feel once you get past that fear. Because once you surpass it, that's what you're actually waiting for. That feeling of like, whoa, I did it. I am so proud of myself. I did it. I felt the fear and I did it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. It's just a feeling. It's not actually anything materialized. It's a feeling. And the more that you do it, you're training that muscle. In reverse, the more that you allow fear to cause you to do a reverse, or I'm not going to do that, I'm afraid of that, that's not for me, you're actually lessening that muscle. You're giving that fear its muscle. No, I'm the muscle. The fear's not the muscle. You see this? I'm the muscle. Fear, I'm the muscle. That's why I do the workouts. I'm the muscle. You need to be afraid of me. I'm not afraid of you. You're there for me to push through and say, you see, I did it again. Look at, I can, who but me? Thank you, Darren. However, I have to speak this into me. I truly feel this. This isn't fake it until you make it. No, I do this. Yeah, so when I jumped out of the plane, that was 2 birthdays ago. Because usually for my birthday, I've up until maybe 3 years ago, up until I moved to Maui, every birthday I've spent my birthday in a different country. And I like to or while I was a flight attendant. So for 15 years, every year I was in a different country for my birthday. However, I am a earth goddess. I love being outside. I love being in the water. I love being in nature. So I typically like to be somewhere in nature, maybe hiking a different mountain, hiking the Himalayas, all of these things. So there was a birthday, this was 2 or 3 years ago, where I said, I want to jump into my new year of life because that's my new year. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being the 20th member on the team too. That's what's up. Give me 10. I appreciate you. So for my birthday, I went to the Big Island, and I know. I've been there. I've been to every state, Darren, and I have a sister that lives outside of Charlotte. So yes, maybe. So I said, I'm going to jump into my new year of life. And I went to the Big Island, and it was the first jump in the morning. It was like a 6 a.m. jump. So I drove to the side. It was the Kona side of the Big Island at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And we had to basically sign our lives away. So if I landed and went kaputs, you cannot sue the company. And I got in the little plane, and it was a tandem jump. So I was attached to the other person, who's quite cute guy. That was a plus too. And we went up. Now, again, this was first thing in the morning in Hawaii, so our sunrises are beautiful. And I have been, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate this. I have always been on planes watching outside as, no need to be jealous, just, I don't know, deal with it. Actually, you don't need to tell me that. That's for you to deal with. That has nothing to do with me. However, I digress. So, because I was a flight attendant, I had been so used to seeing the world from the plane. So being in that small plane, because it was one at a time, with the pilot and the person I was strapped to, and there's no seats. You get on, there's like a wooden floor. Thank you. You see, a man who shows a gift, who gives a gift, or anyone who gives a gift, I appreciate. It didn't faze me. I didn't really think anything of it because I had seen this thousands of times. It wasn't until the door was open. So we get to a certain altitude, and we didn't go that high. I think we went to 10 or 12,000 feet. I think. Maybe 14,000 feet. I think it was 12,000 feet. And the person that I'm attached to says, okay, I'm going to open the door, and you're going to swing your legs out and hang them outside of the plane. And that's when I was like, what the... Because I'd been on every type of aircraft, but to open a door that's not on the ground and put my legs out and look down at the earth, I was like, Hope, I've unlocked a whole new, like, what the F. And that was the moment where I actually felt that, like, what? And you just can't go back down. I mean, maybe you can, but, so we were hanging out, and it's not up to you. The person you're strapped to jumps out. So he says, okay, I'm going to lean out on 3. So when I lean out, you put your head back and your arms up. At that point, it was 1, 2, 3, and I leaned back and we jumped. Now, I closed my eyes because you have goggles. I closed my eyes like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to see it. I don't even like roller coasters. If I'm on a roller coaster, I close my eyes the whole time. It's not enjoyable to me. This, I close my eyes because the view when skydiving is like, wow. It is captivating and mesmerizing and frightening, and that fragility of life, all of these things happen. And so I had my eyes closed and I thought, Hope, you jumped out of a plane to close your eyes? You're falling towards earth and you don't want to see it? I will talk myself back into my position of power. And that's when I opened my eyes and I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And I don't know if it was the wind or if I was so happy, but tears came out of my eyes. And the drop is only 8 or 10 seconds. The drop is pretty quick. So after 10 seconds, then the parachute is pulled and you go up and you just glide down. So the actual free fall is 10 seconds, maybe. It's between 8 to 10 seconds. And it doesn't feel like falling. It really feels like floating. And then I landed. We just coasted around. You could see all of the islands and the ocean and the mountain ranges of all of the islands of Hawaii. And we landed back on the ground. I was happy, and it was like 7 a.m. And I said, okay, this is how I've started my day. Now what else am I going to do? And I think then I went and got like tea and avocado toast, or I had a wonderful breakfast somewhere. I don't know. Every day is like my birthday. I do whatever I want. So that was the experience of jumping out the plane, and it was purposeful. Things that frighten me, I go towards, especially if it's something I want. Now, if it's like someone running towards me with a balaclava, that's what the Brits call a ski mask, and a knife, well, that type of frightening is different. I'm going to run away. I'm intelligent enough to say this probably isn't going to garner anything beneficial. So, feel the fear and do it anyhow. Fear is not there to stop you. And remember that. If it's stopping you, there's something for you to learn. Thank you. Well, my birthday is in November, so thank you. I'm happy for this day. Moonwalking. I see. Yes, I can moonwalk as well. However, moonwalk over fear. Okay. Oh, okay. Sagittarius. Okay. Sometimes your birthday is on Thanksgiving then, Ruben, as is mine, because it's close to yours. Moonwalk over fear. Moonwalk over fear. And I know. We all experience it. The biggest performers still fear that anxiousness. Okay. Are you doing something special for your birthday, unknown person? The last time I really felt that type of fear is when the announcement with the TED speakers came and the website was put up, and I felt a beautiful sense of fear. I felt something. And where are you going? And again, for me, feeling that fear is a signal I'm on the right track. Because if I don't feel fearful, if I don't feel slightly anxious about something new, okay, 2 warm places, then that is what it is. Is it up yet? Yeah, go into my go into my link in bio, and from my website, you can see it'll say TED Talk. It's happening on October 7th. I'm still crafting the words. I'm still in the process, which is beautiful. I'm really feeling every moment of this because I'm the only speaker. I'm the only motivational speaker. I'm the only professional speaker in that realm. Everyone else at this TEDx conference is a physicist or a doctor or a scientist or an AI strategist, and then me. However, we're all professionals at what we do. And I reminded myself of that. I'm a professional speaker. I excel at communication. And okay, so you're a Scorpio. There was a reason why I was selected. And feeling that sense of accomplishment. And feeling, yeah, that's okay to feel that fear, anxiousness. It's just a beautiful realization of what's to come or what's next. Using fear can be a motivator. It can be a catalyst for change. Fear is something I personally use for forward movement, for forward motion, for just forward, to just move forward. Fear is not there to stop. Fear is there really to be that alarm of you are going into new places. That's it. That's it. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. And I shared with this on one of my other lives. As I said, all of my lives, I usually come on daily unless I'm away. Sometimes I'm away, especially with this speech, but I'm usually on at least 4 days a week. I don't have a set time, but I come on to the lives to speak and tell you even my professional or artistic process. And so if you like my lives, they're all on my YouTube page, Hope is Speaking, under Daily TikTok Lives. And so if you don't actually catch me speaking here on TikTok, you can go to my YouTube, Hope is Speaking, and check out my live. Thank you for joining, Rebecca. So I shared this right after everything came out, and someone I knew, I sent them the website, and they saw all of the speakers, and the person said, Hope, you need more letters behind your name. I said, what are you talking about? Like letters? She said, well, everyone is a PhD or a MD or a whatever it is. Sure, of course, coming soon, Ruben. I said, I have letters. It's called HOPE. I was chosen for what I do. That is how you see it. In actuality, that is your insecurity with what that means to you, what a PhD or MD means to you. The fact that I was selected amongst these people means I have the expertise in what I do. And that's how I see it. I'm not lacking. I'm worthy of that space. And reminding yourself you're worthy of these spaces. When that fear comes, you got to talk to it. The way I'm talking to you is how I talk to myself. I'm worthy of this. I'm prepared for this. I'm doing a great job. Why me? Why me? Of course me. I'm the best at what I do. To be your own cheerleader, to be your own therapist, to be your own positive pep talker will change your life. However, while she sleeps, what did I miss? I get it. I think I get it. But So she wouldn't let you play them if she was awake, Ruben? I don't understand. Clarify. Clarify, because I don't want to miss. So to be able to stand firm in you and to know that you're okay. Oh, well, then maybe that's your okay. All right, Ruben. No comment. To be able to talk yourself into that place of prestige. To be able to fortify yourself is a powerful position. And I share that because this is what I do for myself. And yes, I'm always going to be here to motivate and inspire, and you will feel this energy. However, you can do that for yourself. You can do that for yourself. And as we spoke earlier about fear, you got to talk to that fear. You got to talk to those sides of you that wants you to be less of your next version. Nah, I got to leave that old part behind. I'm ready for new. I'm deserving. I'm in the process. This feels good. I'm figuring it out. Today's a great day. Things are going great for me today. I'm inspired in this day. I feel good in this day. I feel healthy in this day. I feel hydrated. I'm doing okay. That changes things. Because if you're saying the opposite to yourself, that changes it too. If you're telling yourself, I'm always messing up, I never do right, why do they even have me here? I'm not good enough. First, you can ask yourself why you are speaking to yourself in that way. And start saying the complete opposite. Thank you, Shay800, for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Continue to like the live. Let's get up to at least 5,000 likes. 5 is one of my favorite numbers, 5 and 45. Yeah. When you hear that, say the complete opposite. And I shared this last night. I've been doing this. Instead of saying, how bad can it get? How good can it get? If you can use that same energy to say that negative, you can use that same energy to say the exact opposite in the highest space of positivity. Why am I so ugly? Why am I so beautiful? Why do I feel so good? Why is life so great right now? Why am I so lucky? Why does everything always work out for me? Why am I in perfect timing? Why do great things always happen to me? How good can today get? Why am I just so beautiful? Like, really, say that. If that sounds offlandish, why would that sound strange? If you can easily say how fat you are or how unhappy you are or how everyone hates you, it's made up. You can make up something that actually serves you. I feel great about myself today. You know what? Today is a great day. I'm powerful in this day. Fear has no power over me in this day. I'm doing a great job at life. I've showed up. I've gotten through a lot. I'm proud of myself. That type of speak creates an effervescence within you. And it may be uncomfortable at first, but that brings a power. When you can speak to yourself in that way and believe it and know it and feel good about it, I remember when I had dedicated myself to becoming a speaker, I started with Toastmasters because my father would say, whatever you want to do, if you do it daily, consistently, you will become proficient. Meaning, if you want to learn French, if you study French 2 hours every day, within a month, you will begin to see how you can build upon what you've learned. Within 6 months, you will be a pretty novice speaker. Within a year, you're pretty much advanced. And this goes with anything. So if you're spending 3 hours a day on social media, well, then that's what you're putting your time into. But if you said, you know what, wow, my screen time says I spend 7 hours, I'm going to take 2 of those hours and read. You will train yourself to read. You'll just be a better reader. However, with a skill, if it's learning anything, which you can learn anything right now, free of charge because of the internet, if you really have a desire to do anything and you say, I want to learn how to code, and you go onto YouTube and you Google coding, beginners, and you spend 1 hour, 4 days a week, you will become a professional within a year. And I knew that. My father told me that. So I said, well, okay, going into speaking, am I going back to school? How am I going to accomplish this? And I said, well, I need to speak. And I need to be around other speakers and other professional speakers and other people who are wordsmiths and who can sharpen my gift of speaking and who are in that profession. Toastmasters. I've done that before, and it's speakers, and it's a public speaking organization and professional speakers, and there's great networking. That's what I'll do. And this was during the course of the shutdown. So everything was online. And so I said, okay, I'm going to make this like a part-time course. I will go to one Toastmasters meeting, which is an hour. In fact, I'll do 5 hours. So I'll do 5 Toastmasters meetings every day, 4 days a week. That's 20 hours a week. That's a part-time job, or that's like going to school, going to college. And I did that for a year during the shutdown. And it was also because I was living in Hawaii and I had retired from being a flight attendant. I craved accents because I'm so used to being in different countries regularly. So I joined a Toastmasters group in London because I lived in London for several years. And being familiar with that accent, I'm also familiar with the people, the British. There's certain things that I can say in a speech that the Brits will understand that American audience wouldn't. And I needed that to sharpen my sword, my skill. And then I joined a French group in Paris. And then I joined a group in Germany. And then I joined a group in India. And then I joined a group in the Bahamas. And then I joined a group in Hawaii. And then so every day, 4 days a week, I had a different Toastmasters meeting that I would go to, an hour each, 5 different meetings, Monday through Thursday, for one entire year. So with that, I'm speaking. Although we can't gather at that time, I'm speaking. I'm gathering my voice as a speaker. I'm meeting other speakers. I'm understanding this business of speaking. I'm understanding my message. I'm understanding what I like to speak about. And I'm doing it daily and consistently. And now other people are hearing me speak. And hey, can you speak over here? Hey, I would like you to lead this over here. It was purposeful. And it was my way of really sharpening a tool. Because I don't care what you want to do, find a way to do it. It's not about the money aspect. What do you want to do? Do it. In fact, now because of the internet, there's very little that's restricting anyone from creating or learning something. All it takes is you and your consistent effort. And I remember as I would speak, people from my different groups would say, hey, Hope, listen, can you enter into our contest because you're a fantastic speaker? And then I started entering into speech competitions. And I remember how nervous I would get. And it wasn't really nervousness, because here's the thing. Nervousness and excitement in the brain are the same thing. It's when we label it nervousness or excitement, then our brain begins to gather the information to support whatever we label it as. And I remember feeling that self-sabotage. And I had spoken, I realized it from my therapist and just self-mastery, learning myself, that when I would get to a certain level, that element of, wait a minute, I may need to mess this up because I don't know if I'm worthy of that space. Remember what happened last time when you succeeded? All of these things that happen. Hello, Ivan. Nice to meet you, and thank you for being here. And within those speech competitions, learning about myself in competition and seeing what that brought out. All of these things I share to say, when you start a new path, there's new elements of yourself that will begin to show themselves. That's a part of it. However, it's for you to learn, oh, that can benefit me. Or, hey, I didn't know that was still there. Or, hey, wow, okay. Let me focus on what this is or how that comes about. Or maybe I can let that go. I no longer need that element of self-sabotage because I'm deserving of this. I'm worthy of this. This is a part of it. There's all of these skills that just come out when we are becoming, when we are evolving, when we are allowing ourselves to evolve. And this is what I love about communication. Because so much of communication is not said. And when we're aware of that, maybe we can understand ourselves better. And the better we understand ourselves, the better we can communicate our wants, our needs, ourselves, our truths to the world, to others, to our friends, to our family members. Because if we don't truly know what's going on inside of us, if we don't know how to label it, if we don't know how to communicate it, how are we supposed to share it with someone else? How are we supposed to share it with the world? And there's a beautiful element of that learning of oneself and releasing and shedding old versions to soar, to be ready to soar, to be ready to become more, to give ourselves the okay that we are more, that we're free to be more, that we're free to expand, that we are free. We are limitless. But we have to give ourselves that. Until we give ourselves the ability to truly reach, to truly become something different, or try, to just try. Because you can try. You can try something and say, this is no longer for me. And that's okay. I encourage trying. There's so much benefit in trying. And there's benefit in the allowing of evolution. And as I was speaking to my niece was telling me her thoughts on musical artists. And she said, well, I like this artist when they presented themselves as this. And I said, well, okay, sure, yeah. And as an artist, you have the artistic ability to change. And as a human being, we have the ability to change. And I was explaining to her, I don't listen to a lot of music. I don't listen to a lot, period. I'm listening to myself often. And I am intentional about everything I hear. So a lot of times I'm not listening to anything, including music. And she had spoke about Drake, and I said, I don't really know Drake past Take Care. Like, I know that because that came out while I was living in London, but anything past that, I don't listen to music like that. I'm unaware. I would recognize it's his voice, but I would not know the song. And my niece had said, oh, well, now he's dancehall Drake. I said, well, so what? So what? That is you as the consumer or the voyeur that puts your spin on it. An artist, a person, can maneuver into different spaces as many times as they want. Your critique or judgment says more about you. However, nothing is static, especially as an artist. But let's take that artist word and just say as a human being, you are free to change. You are free to show up differently. You are free to be something different. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Give Me 10. I love the weights. I love the cream cone. I love the lightning bolt. I appreciate it. You are free to show up how you want, when you want, as who you believe yourself to be in that moment. What you think of how I show up has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. And furthermore, even to question, why do I label that something negative? Why do I label that negative when an artist or a person that I know shows up differently? Does that mean I'm restricting myself from change? I don't know. This would have to be the dialogue within the person. However, we are free. Thank you for joining. We are free to just show up as who we want to be. There's a beauty in that. And even in that, thank you, Give Me 10. Thank you for the Anemo slime. I appreciate that. The beauty in saying, when I said I am choosing to retire from this dream career that I have loved and savored every moment for the past 15 years, and it's done. I'm ready for a new challenge. I'm ready for something new. I'm ready to recategorize myself. I'm ready to show up professionally in different spaces. I'm ready to challenge the knowledge that I have. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. That is empowerment. And I remember saying, I am betting on me. I'm betting on me. And I'm standing in it because it's me. I don't care what anyone else thinks. In fact, I wouldn't even know what you think because I'm not thinking about you. That is true empowerment. To me, that's freedom. Because often we're held accountable and held to these standards of how we feel others see us. Not me. Not anymore. I'm going for this. And what that means. So if you do feel that, no, I was not, Darren. I was not thinking about you. I can say this with sheer confidence. I was not. And I won't think of you because I am constantly thinking about me. Yeah. Showing up with that type of honesty. Why would I be thinking about you, Darren? Why? I am here to empower and inspire and uplift with my words. Unless the thought of you aids in that, it is not a part of my thought. Truly, it's not. So, good evening, gummy bears. So, what have we learned? My intention is that the uniqueness that is you is the prize. Are they Haribo? Are they actually good gummy bears? Are they medicated gummy bears? Because, we love a good medicated gummy. And I love an edible. I digress. To speak with confidence is to show up confident within yourself. Is to show up knowing that you're worthy of all the spaces. Thank you. Thank you, Ivan. We'll come back. I'm here every day. And if you ever have an itch for wanting to listen to some Hope, go to my YouTube at Hope is Speaking, and you can listen. And I have meditations and affirmations so you can wake up and listen to my voice. Listen to yourself and know what to turn down and what to turn up. Because every thought, and this is a beautiful thing about meditation, you don't have to believe every thought. And that's maybe only understood by, I don't know who. Let me not put that on that. To silence yourself and understand that a thought is just that. It doesn't mean you have to grasp onto it, nor believe it. There's a space where I can observe a thought and let it whiz past. There have been times where a thought comes and I grasp it and I build a story around it and I build my lack of something because of it. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. Get quiet within yourself. Listen to what's going on within yourself. Turn down what isn't beneficial for yourself. And start speaking into yourself the thoughts that are constructive and that you want to believe. You don't have to believe that you're unlovable. You can choose to believe you're worthy of love by telling yourself, by believing in it, by releasing whatever started that thought of that in the first place. However, it takes you being silent and listening, and then speaking true power into yourself. Speaking life and love and gratitude and forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the biggest things that I saw within myself. Our lack of forgiveness oftentimes is how we treat others. We won't even forgive ourselves. How can you forgive another person if you don't forgive yourself from what happened 25 years ago? Learn to be graceful with yourself. You're doing the best that you can. And you can always do better. And you can always just restart. However, to say, you know what, I forgive myself and I'm doing a great job. I'm doing good. That starts a different thought. That starts a different thought. As I shared with my sister, why is everyone feels like people are just angry? I understand they're angry with traffic and angry enough to hurt a person. Oh, you're hurt. Okay, I have compassion for that. I've been hurt too. So what? It's summer. That is not a valid response, Mag. It's not. It's summer. Personally, I like it to be hot. I'm hot myself, okay? I live in Hawaii. I purposely moved there because I've been places where I don't care to see snow. I don't care to walk in snow. I don't care to live in a gloomy, rainy, misty place like London. However, I've gotten to this point because I've lived in those places. But to be stressed out because it's hot, you have not learned emotional regulation, which is another key factor. Just learning how to emotionally regulate yourself. Not everything needs to be something. Most things don't. Sure, that's with anything. Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Sharad. However, all it takes is one question to start the work. And we're all doing work, whether it's conscious or not. I value the work I do on myself. If I aspire to speak and encourage, I have to constantly do the work. If I see myself as the leader that I am, that is my homework constantly. Because I've done it, so I can see it within me, and I know it. It's something maybe bettering your best. However, also some of the instances that life has provided me, and I shared about that on my live last night. I put that on my YouTube this morning, and that's entitled You Can Rule the World. When I had a passenger transition. Wow, that's courageous. Thank you for that statement, Sharon. I love that. I'm going to screenshot that. Thank you. Yeah. It's a constant thing. However, when a lot of this happened from my own existential crises, okay? When I shared yesterday about the passengers that transitioned and died on the plane, one within my arms, all these things start more questions, because that's not, I don't know if you're ever prepared to see someone transition right in front of you or what that means. That started a list of questions, especially for what I want in my life, how I see my life. And I allowed it to benefit me in some way. I'm so happy, Counselor Cat Mom, because to do the work, yeah, sometimes I don't say you, I will bring it back to me. Sometimes I have felt a little out of sorts, out of place. Like, who really does all this? I will. I don't know what time, though. I will be on probably around this time. Probably, but I don't know. You'll just have to see. I will come on, though. I'm seen earlier, later, what have you. But I will be on. It's fun to do the work. It's fun to see the growth within ourselves. And it's an investment. It's an investment. I am. Yeah, I am. It starts with the quest. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I believe there's something bigger than me. I don't know what that is. With all of my travels, I don't label that. When I was in India, it may be Shiva, it may be there's several different gods and goddesses. Ganesh. If I'm in Israel, it may be the study of Judaism. If I was in the UAE, it would be Islam. If it was somewhere else, it would be just this invisible force. I don't know. There appears to be something, and individuals throughout history in the world have labeled it a different name. For me, it's just this universal force that I've seen throughout the world. So, I'll just continue the quest. I'll just continue the quest and continue to share. This is a part of it. When I started speaking, I don't, to categorize my speaking, I don't know if there's a category. I think it's everything I do. I like to say that I make everything a ceremony, because it is. And I enjoy this experience. If I don't like something, I don't do it. And I always say that. And my parents will confirm that. Or anyone in my life, especially anyone who's been in a relationship with me. Once I'm, I will just leave. However, the beauty is the honesty brings us together. And that is truly an intention of mine, to continue to speak honestly, because I believe we are all experiencing these same things. And when we see the overlap, I will leave you, Darren. I will leave you. And life will go on. Your life will be great, and so will mine. However, I will leave you. I have no qualms with that at all. I will leave you. I will leave a place. I will leave a country. I will just leave, because that's what I want to do. And I always close with 3 things outside of just leaving. There you go. Okay, if you are made in the image of lightness of cats, you're a cat. If you're made, yeah. I like to say, if I'm made in its image, then it's me. It's me. It's within all of us. We are all a part of it. It's too massive to encapsulate. So yes, we can see each other as a part of that, or a part of divine, and see that in each other. You're leaving with me. I've heard that too, but I can run fast too. You're welcome, Ricky Random. I can run, and I can hop on planes and duck and dodge you. So I can leave and not have you tail me. So I actually have, be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. Show up. Show up. Just show up. Everything else is done. All you got to do is show up. And when we were speaking about fear, fear often prevents people from showing up. Just show up. To heck with fear. Show up. And when you show up, make it look good. Okay? Make it look good. And from my book of quotes, I found these quotes that I love. And I have 3 that I will close with from Rosa Parks. Yeah, you can use anything for your benefit. You can, of course. Boy, don't play with me, Blessed Tone. Can I cook? I'm like a Michelin-starred chef, pastry chef, dessert cook, saucier. I'm everything. So, from Rosa Parks, memories of our lives, of our works, and of our deeds will continue in others. I love that. Whatever my individual desires were to be free, I was not alone. There were many others who felt the same way. And finally, I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear. Isn't that beautiful? So I closed with that because fear can be a tool. Use it to drive you. Use it for change. And then come back and share with me. Because I'm always here to listen. But I'm going to speak because Hope is speaking. That is all for the live today. As I said, you can go to my YouTube at Hope is Speaking under the daily TikTok lives, and all of my lives are posted there. And I love you too, but Sharon, I got to go. I got to go eat something, okay? Okay? I'll see you. Goodbye.